Hey there, YouTubers. All right, so looking at the i5 12400F, trying to look at these core frequencies and get an idea of how come we're not seeing higher numbers on some of the videos. Now, max turbo is 4.40, right? But what does that mean? Only these two cores here are going to see 4.4, because multiply that times 100. All these, well, I'm looking at the wrong spot, sorry. Multiply all these times 100. These two are going to see 4.4. This is going to see 4.2. This is going to see 4.0. Our average should come out to 4.2. Now, oddly, when I did this before, the max never got above, I think, 4 or 4.03. Here you see a max of 4.27. I haven't even done anything, which is interesting enough. And then CPU utilization, somehow got it to 100%. So I'm going to clear this out, folks. We're going to run the benchmark in here. And we're also going to look at MSI Afterburner. Wow, I hope I can hit the button. This might get in the way. So the way MSI Afterburner does this, it's showing basically 12 clocks on here, each core having 2 threads. So I would assume core 1 is CPU 1 and 2. We should be easy enough to find out, right? All right, let's go to benchmark mode and go ahead and run this. So 2 places to see the core, over here and then over here. And you can see this thing is not getting above 4 gigahertz. Now if we go down and look at the other cores, if I can find them. There's got to be a better way to arrange these. As much as I use this, you'd think I'd be an expert on every detail of it. So it went all the way to the bottom. Where the hell are all the other cores at? I missed them. CPU clock stuff. There they are. So yeah, 3.9. None of them are getting over 4. And the benchmark's done, okay? So it didn't get above 4. Now this is with a 1x8 CPU power connector, okay? Could we potentially get more juice out of it? Maybe. I have an upgraded CPU cooler. Oh, we can also run Intel's XTU benchmark. Let's go back to the, let's run the, not the second version, but the first version. See if we get any different results. Maybe the algorithm's different. Maybe it'll punish the CPU a little more, hopefully. So none of these clocks are getting above 4 again. Over here, we haven't got above 4. And boom, the benchmark's over. Interesting the difference between these when you look at CPU utilization. I should have reset that, but it doesn't get way up there for this version. I don't know if I want to torture you guys with Cinebench, because obviously this isn't working like one would hope. Let me see if I can find, yeah, hell with it. Just cooled off enough. So this has a Noctua 120 millimeter CPU cooler. I put on the i7 12700F, the 140, just to keep this a little more consistent comparison-wise. All right, so we'll do Cinebench. This should be pretty quick too. You can see our score. Now Cinebench, you know, they want you to shut off stuff. We need to leave this open though. That's not really doing anything. So hopefully, you know, nothing's really interfering. I would expect this. This is the last score I ran with turbo boost disabled. So it should be considerably higher. All right, so there's that. We're running it. Let's get this up. You see it skyrocket. And I did not clear that out again. But it doesn't really matter because it's not going above 4. Could it be the motherboard, folks? Is it the CPU? Why are we not seeing any of the cores going any higher? Let's go back to the original 2 because they are the ones that if any of these were gonna go over, it would be them. And still at $39.94, 100% CPU usage. So I don't know. Maybe there's a setting I'm missing. Is this false advertising? You know, does Intel set some limit? You know, this CPU. Who knows how much better it would be. It's pretty awesome, I gotta say, CPU as it is, but I'm definitely not getting out of it what I would expect to get out of it. So, yeah, I never got above 4. Let's, fuck it, let's leave all this stuff up and do some Fortnite. Now, I'm gonna have OBS running. And it's gonna suck. I don't know if I have CPU or GPU setting. It's gonna really drop down our. I gotta close this out, folks. It's probably gonna drop down our FPS quite a bit, even though I have a 3090 attached to it. And look at that. What an eyesore. All right, so we need to. I changed the resolution from 4K down to 1440p, which is okay, but we need to do this so you guys can see all the clocks. Hopefully they fit on the screen better. All right. So we're just going to dick around in this game. You know, sometimes I'm serious about trying to win. Half the time I'm just going through the motions. And sometimes I get lucky and win. So you can see, boom, this thing is pretty much maxed out at 3.994 gigahertz or 3994. Once again, I remind you, this is the 1x8 CPU power connector. I will do this again with an additional 1x4 attached to it to see if that explains why you guys are not getting, well, explain why I'm not getting it. I don't know if it explains what you never practiced that, right? Lead you. Keep going left. All right. So, you know, I think honestly, it's pretty much already proven it's not going to go above 4. So I gotta get to level 60. Level 6. Oh, level 60. And then I get I'll have enough tokens that I can get Battle Pass. And if I get Battle Pass, I'm going on shopping for new outfits. So I never really discussed this, but occasionally my son does play this. So if you guys ever notice, wow, he normally doesn't build anything in these videos. I rely on, you know, hopefully being able to outshoot the other person. I grabbed all those guns. Yeah, hopefully being able to outshoot him. My son, who normally finishes first. If you see somebody that's doing a lot of building, most likely it is him. He didn't even get a shot off. Right? Not even a single shot on him. Shotgun. So yeah, folks, this is not you can't hear that. This is plugged into the microphone, so you can't even hear on my end without a headset.
I'm trying to convince them to welcome you back with open arms, but I can't promise that it will be a cakewalk if you come back.
But yeah, it's not getting above.
And this time, I'll have your back no matter what.
Above 4 gigahertz, and I hate to quit a game. Where the hell is that chest at? So interesting enough, I don't know if I accidentally got this. What I don't like to leave anything. All right. So you can see, the graphics card is not really working that hard due to the settings. Let's do something here, folks. You know, we want a CPU intensive setting, and we don't really have it. Here, let's do this. Graphics card should use even less power, but yeah, it doesn't make a difference with the frequency. And it's almost like every one of the cores in this thing is exactly 4. That the multiplier, let me change that statement. It's almost like the multipliers are exactly the same. They're all 40x. And there's not a single one to 4. So I gotta say, I do love the CPU, not as much as the i7 12700F. There's just a lot more oomph behind it, right? Really? All right, we'll leave those up there. Yeah, but a lot more oomph, and you know, but is it worth another $150? That's the real question. Some of you, maybe you can't afford that. I think a lot of you will be happy with this, especially if you were considering the i7 10700, maybe even the i7 11700F. This is a lot better value The same thing could be said about if you were looking at getting a Ryzen 5 5600X, which I'm surprised hasn't dropped down considerably in price. But you know, there are some advantages to some of those CPUs. The higher, well, actually probably not the 5600X, but some of the other AMD chips have higher L3 cache. You know, make them useful for other things. Alright. I was hoping somebody would at least shoot me by now. Can't get any better weapons. Anybody wanna shoot me? Can you get two of these? Oh wow, you can actually get two of those. Did not know that. Alright, where the hell is everybody? Just a bit more shotgun rounds. So, as I hopefully get closer to the end of this video, I just gotta tell you guys, yeah, highly disappointed that we are not boosting above 4 with the 1x8. You know, honestly, I can't remember a CPU. Let's say I need the 1x8 and a 1x4 CPU power connector, or I need two 1x8s to boost this over. I don't know that I've ever seen a CPU that, you know, completely relies on that. Now, you would get maybe a short boost and not have, you know, maybe it can't sustain it. But to not even get a single one of these cores over 4, and not have my average, like I said, my average should show up at 4.2. So that guy I killed earlier, he must have been a bot, because he didn't come close to hit me. Just like that guy didn't come close to hit me. Ooh, the flare gun. So I think the flare gun, honestly, might be one of my favorite toys. I love these things. I'm gonna get rid of this, Okay, so These are behind the vault that I can't get into because I killed the guy. One guy that could let me in. And of course this thing's way the hell up here. That was his lucky day. And I tried to sacrifice myself. Alright, so... Oh, gun we're gonna get rid of. I won't reach. Alright folks, I'm going to kill the recording for y'all. Thanks for checking out the video. Hope you got something out of it. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.